Ladies and gentlemen, one thing I do know over the years, when you hear a judge sit on the bench and they're looking at a defendant that looks just like them, and out of their mouth is, oh, well, you look like a good person, or you look like a good kid. To me, those kind of folks should not be on the bench because they have all kinds of biases. And then when a black defendant gets in front of them, oh, you look like a criminal. Oh, you look like you did it. You know, those kind of people should be barred from judging anything. One thing we do know historically, these folks have a serious, serious inability to be fair. They're not interested in being fair at all. History has showed us that, past and present. So, this is a good thing for LaRon Liggins, who you see as a defendant. And you can see the judge. And this judge is Stephen Murphy the third, and he should not be judging anything. Him, along with many judges in this country, should not even be on the bench. Period. Can you imagine that? Oppressors judging everything. Unbelievable. So, a black man's 10-year sentence vacated in case where white judge says he looked like a criminal at trial. So, this judge actually said this during pre-trial, which is his opinion. It's not based on any facts in the case, so it should not have been said. And what they really should do is go back and look at all the cases he presided over. And, you might have to clean house a lot more than just this case. Maybe they should look at what he ruled on. And it's possible that there are a lot of other cases that should be overturned as well. An appellate court ruled that a black man had a right to a new trial and vacated his 10-year sentence on drug charges, while a white judge said he looked like a criminal during a pretrial hearing. LaRon Liggins, convicted on two drug charges, was vacated last week after a three-judge panel unanimously agreed the judge's comment violated Liggins' right to due process according to the Sixth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals opinion. Liggins was sentenced in 2022 to more than 10 years in prison. So this took place, y'all, in the state of Michigan. So then a grand jury indicted Liggins on a charge of conspiracy to possess with the intent to distribute and to distribute heroin February 2018. But the case didn't go to trial until years later. A superseding indictment was also filed in 2019 that added one count of aiding and abetting possession with the intent to distribute heroin. Although Liggins initially indicated he entered a guilty plea, he changed his mind and decided to go to trial. U.S. District Judge Stephen Murphy III, who you see in the picture, voiced his frustration during a January 2020 hearing after Liggins changed his attorney for the second time, delaying the trial once again. He said he was tired of this case. Well, then why are you on the bench? Why are you on the bench if you're tired of cases? You shouldn't be there. What do you want me to do? And then he goes on to say, this guy looks like a criminal to me. Well, Stephen Murphy, you look like a criminal to many people too. I don't know why y'all think we look like criminals, but you don't. Y'all certainly look like criminals too. So let's go on. So, which is things that are very inappropriate for a judge to say. All right. according to the opinion. So, this is what criminals do. This isn't what innocent people do who want a fair trial do. Now, this man works in a very corrupt legal system, a legal system that's all rigged up. And he's talking about somebody looking like a criminal. Damn near every judge in America looks like a criminal sitting up on the bench because they are criminals sitting up on the bench. Don't just frown upon the cops. Many of these judges and prosecutors in America, their butts are criminals too. Many of them are fully aware that they're putting in innocent people behind bars and they go right ahead through it. And they know in many instances the person is innocent and they will give a ruling to put that person behind bars anyway. And to me, that makes every last one of them criminals themselves. They commit criminal acts sitting up on the bench every day in this country. Got some nerve talking about you look like a criminal. You look like one. You look like one, Stephen Murphy the third. You look like a criminal. So Liggins filed a motion for Murphy to be recused the day before the trial, which Murphy denied. He did apologize for his remarks, saying he lost his head, but he could still be fair to Liggins. No, nah. After somebody gives those kind of strong opinions from the bench, no, you don't. You already prove you don't have the ability to be fair. You already proved it. Why should he go before you? I wouldn't go before you. They need to remove him from the bench altogether. He shouldn't be ruling on any more cases. I give Mr. Liggins the same rights and opportunity here to demonstrate his innocence or lack of guilt as any other litigant. And I believe that my conduct at the final pretrial conference and in today's hearing do not evidence any bias. Murphy said, nah, Murphy can jaw jack all he want. I would never trust nothing from this judge. No, he don't. He already proved he don't have the ability to be fair on the bench. And he's openly being unfair. He's openly doing this. And now, when he gets called out on it, all of a sudden he should stay on the case and he can be fair. Nah, I would refuse to go before him. Mm-mm. So the three judge panel disagreed, ruling Thursday that Murphy should have recused himself after the comments he made. Prosecutors argued that Murphy made the comments regarding Liggins' actions and not his race. No, he did it based on his race. Okay. No, he did it based on race. You look like a criminal. You look like a criminal. These people have been calling us criminals since our forefathers stepped away from the plantation. You went from being a slave to being a criminal. And as soon as our people were allowed off of the plantations, the jails went up all over the country. So they had no intention on letting us go at all. So, no, I would never trust going before this judge. He should not be presiding over any more cases, period. But the panel noted that any reasonable person could interpret the remarks differently and that the court must protect against the appearance of bias. Exactly. You can't sit on the bench and show a lot of disdain towards a defendant. And then when you get called out on it, you sitting there trying to lie and say you have the ability to be fair. No, you don't. You already showed you didn't. Even if one were to assume a lack of racial bias on the part of the district judge, the remarks nevertheless raise the specter of such bias. Beyond this remark, the district judge's other remarks could be understood to demonstrate clear and prejudgment of Ligon's guilt, the opinion said. Murphy's decision not to recuse himself was a violation of Ligon's Fifth Amendment rights, which ensured the right to a fair trial, which is, y'all, that's just words on paper. We see how rigged up criminal court is. When our people walk in criminal court, when melanated people walk in there, by default, you're not going to get a fair trial. That's how they got criminal court all rigged up. They are going to put you in jail whether a crime happened or not. So that right there tells you there is no fair trial for us, period. The panel did not rule um, on the issues presented by Liggins, meaning the federal prosecutors could still file for a new trial. A representative for the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Michigan did not immediately return a request for comment. So, y'all, mm, this is the typical court in America. A bunch of biased judges that prejudge you. You don't get a fair chance, and they have no concern about being fair to you at all. But they want to preside over cases and judge you as a person. They really shouldn't be judging anyone. They're not in any position to judge even a dog, as far as I'm concerned. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.